Hey, what is going on everyone? It's xMrAlchemy, and today I'm bringing you a game of Kill Confirmed on Outpost, using the good old FAD again, but this time it's with extended mags, not the silencer. On Outpost, instead of Arcaden, this map kind of sucks, and for some reason this map always comes up with Downturn when you have to vote it, which is really annoying because both of the maps are terrible. They're both really linear, and it's just not fun to play at all. Fortunately, this game was a little bit different for me because I got a good score. I don't get the Moab, but I go, I think, 41-3. The reason I'm using this gameplay instead of something else is I normally don't post gameplays in a row that I'm using the same weapon, but in this case I wanted to talk about something today, and the next game on my hard drive was a search game, and search games are usually short, which means I would have had to rush my topic, and I don't want to rush it, so that's why you're seeing the FAD again. I'm using SitRep Pro, Assassin Pro, and Scavenger Pro as my special setup. Used to be my kind of my staple setup, but now that I Prestige, I lost SitRep Pro, so I'm not using SitRep Pro anymore. But Assassin and Scavenger are almost always on my specialist setup, unless I'm playing Search, but that's, you know, besides the point. So I do apologize, I haven't been posting in a while, but today we're going to be talking about priorities. And speaking of not posting in a while, as you can probably tell, YouTube has not been on the top of my priority list lately. But before you guys get any ideas of me talking about priorities, I don't want you thinking like, oh, he's making this video so he can tell us that he's quitting YouTube because his priorities messed up. Guys, I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm not making this video to give any kind of subliminal message. I just want to talk about priorities. I think they're kind of interesting, and I feel like obviously everybody has different priorities. And I, for one, am not the guy who's going to say your priorities need to be this, this, and this, because to me, priorities are very personal. They're very opinionated, and I feel like it's wrong for someone to sit here and tell you your priorities should be this and or that or the other. So I'm not here to tell you that your priorities should be something. I'm going to tell you guys what my priorities are and, you know, give my opinion on why they should be like that. But I'm not forcing you guys. I'm not going to think of you any differently if your priorities are different than mine. Obviously, somebody may have the priority of getting drunk every weekend and going out and trying to get late. That may be a priority for some people. For me, that is not. Or somebody's priority might be sleeping or whatever. So I just wanted to give you guys my rundown of my priorities, and just to kind of give you a little bit of a deeper insight on the kind of person I am, as far as my personality goes, or maybe how down to earth I am, I guess you could say, how good of a person I am. So my first and foremost top priority is my family. You know, that's kind of the cliche answer, that's the general answer that a lot of people give. My priority is my family. I'll be with them first, and that, you know, that's awesome. I feel, you know, I completely agree with that, and I feel like that's the most important thing. The reason why, you only have one set of family. Like, you can always make new friends, you can always get a new job, you can always, you know, everything continues, you can always move on, but family is something that eventually, once it goes away, it will never come back. As depressing as that sounds, guys, I don't want to scare anybody, but that's the truth. Your family is only there once, and once they're gone, you have no more family. So live it up while you can, enjoy them while you can, appreciate them while you can, because, once again, you know, as soon as they're gone, you're going to regret not having any more family. As, you know, dark as that may sound. So that's why I try to spend as much time with my family as possible. If anything ever happened to anybody in my family, I would, you know, put that first before anything else. So that's why I feel like family is my priority, my first priority, or should be anyway. Second is kind of up in the air, because sometimes I view it as half and half, depending on what time of the year it is. If it's a time in the year where I really need to focus on school, then it's school. But if it's kind of a chill time of the year where I either don't care about my classes at that point in time, or they're not stressful, then it's my friends. However, if it's a stressful point in time in school and something happens to one of my friends, like one of my really close friends, I would be there for my friend. You know, if I tell my professor, let's say I have a test one day and a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, gets in a car accident and he needs me to be there, I'm going to tell my professor, look, a really close friend of mine got in a car accident, I cannot be there. And, you know, if he doesn't understand that, then I just give him the middle finger and move on with my life. That's all you can really do. But good friends are hard to come by. And once again, that's kind of a cliche statement, but it's true. A lot of friends just kind of, they stab you in the back, or they do things that not good friends would do. And I feel like a good friend is always going to be there for you. They always have your back. So if you can get a good friend, hang on to that person, because once again, good friends are hard to find. And I feel like if they're low on your priority list, you're going to be a lonely person, to be honest. My mom's kind of that way. she doesn't like being around people. She's kind of, you know, lives in her own little world. I don't want to make it sound like she's crazy or insane, but she's kind of a recluse. She just kind of hangs out by herself at the house and, you know, goes to work, but that's it. She's not really social with people, and I feel like if you put friends and people on the bottom of your priority list, then you're not going to have many friends and you're not going to be very social. So, and then, you know, school is on the other side of that. I feel like an education is very important. Granted, not everybody goes to college and is successful. Or on the opposite spectrum of that, some people don't go to college and are very successful. For example, Donald Trump. I believe he didn't go to college. Or, you know, people like athletes like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett. None of them went to college, and they, you know, look at them. They're very successful basketball players. Granted, athleticism is a little different than education, but you guys get the idea. I feel like education and learning is pretty important to me. I always feel like we can build on our knowledge, and, you know, they say you learn something new every day, which is completely true. And I feel like we can never learn too much. Your brain can never be completely full. So that's my top 3, and the rest is kind of up in the air. Now, some would say that video games is a top priority for me because how much I play them. But I don't see how much I play video games doesn't necessarily mean they're priority to me. I just have a lot of fun playing video games, and like I mentioned in my last video, it's a passion, guys. It's something I love to do. It's something that I don't see myself getting tired of doing for quite some time. That being said, you know, for somebody to say, well, obviously video games are your first priority because you play them all the time, I can see where they're getting that. Obviously, if I play video games a lot, that makes it seem like I don't want to do anything but play video games. That's like all I want to do. However, I still go to class, I still hang out with my friends, and to me, if you really like doing something, like let's say you really like paintballing and you do it a lot, but that doesn't keep you from going to school and, you know, visiting with your family, I feel like if video games, or, you know, in this case paintball as an example, took place of something, then it would be a priority. But if it's just kind of in the middle, if it's just something to fill up time, I don't think it's a priority. So I would agree with you if you were to say that video games was a priority for me if it was taking place of me spending time with my family. Like, let's say my family's having a barbecue, I would always go to that. But let's say instead of doing that, I decide to play COD or Skyrim or whatever. That would obviously be, you know, the video games in that case would obviously be a priority. But let's say I go to the barbecue, then come home and play video games. Obviously, even though I'm playing a lot of video games, they're not necessarily a priority for me. So anyway, guys, the video is somewhat wrapping up. I don't know, it was something that was on my mind today, and I felt like I wanted to discuss it. I feel like your priorities can always change, and depending on what your priorities are, that kind of makes up the person you are. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and once again, I will catch you guys later.
Kill confirmed.